I'm Alina, your host. And of course.
Of course.
Oh, no, I was going to say, of course, she's wearing her Rams sweater. Did you guys win?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my Cowboys tied, which we just all of America just found out this new rule in football.
Yeah. Talofa.
So Trina's here.
Hi.
Solomon,
Hi.
how are you?
Fine. I got a square on my face. Let me fix that.
You do have a square on your face.
Following me.
No, yeah.
Now
What
it's
is it?
gone. Okay.
There
we
you go.
Hi.
How have you been?
I've been good. Good.
Today we have a new guest, and we're going to introduce him. Mitch.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Finally made it on here.
I know. We've been talking about this.
Right? I was, you had me hooked there for a while. I was watching the episodes, then, I'll watch one more, Then I watched one more, and I'm like, oh my God. And
they're good.
I heard all your little secrets already. I thought she was a good girl. I didn't know she was all crazy.
Good girl.
I texted her one time. I don't know what we were talking about. I said, I watched the episode about your little tryst in Colorado where you drove to Colorado to meet some guy you barely met.
I wasn't on that.
Yeah, were you not on that?
No.
You were not on that one?
No.
Yeah, it was with Tom.
Because I wouldn't have been judging you. I would have had an opinion, but I don't remember that. Maybe I bypassed that because I didn't want to know that.
Oh, yeah, that was, the Colorado trip.
He's calling you out.
It's okay,
Well,
you
she
do too.
told it on herself.
I did. And
She does do that.
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, we're pretty, you see what you get. We're pretty
Yeah.
transparent.
Yeah.
We don't really, what's the point of having a podcast if you're going to,
Yeah.
not divulge things that.
Yeah.
Well, because somebody's going to watch it and going to say, no, you're lying, girl.
Yeah.
So you gotta,
Yeah.
For sure. Solomon, I heard something.
What?
Uh-oh.
Tomorrow's your birthday.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah, tomorrow's my birthday.
21. Did you say 21?
Yeah.
She says 21. I say 34. I'm willing to go that high.
Okay.
Is that your number?
Yeah.
Mine's 26.
Well, I base it on if I got the power to like be one age for the rest of my life, what age would it be? And I think 34.
No.
That's old enough to be taken seriously, but young enough to still be like,
Yeah.
moving and all that stuff. So
Mitch, you got a number?
40.
40. Oh,
Because I was
okay.
still relatively healthy and I felt good. Now that I'm in my 60s, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like,
You're in your 60s?
you look good for 60.
Yeah, you
Right?
do. I did not know that.
yes, ma'am.
Trina.
Don't tell anybody.
No, in the car, she asked me how old you were. And I said, I think he's about my age, maybe a year or two older.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, in your 60s.
She did say that.
No, we went to a Sweet 16 party on Saturday and seeing people you haven't seen in a while. Wow, Mitch, you look the same like for the last 20 years. I says, I may look the same on the inside, but you don't want to see my MRIs, because I'm all messed up on the inside.
Yeah, but you're taking care of your
Yeah, you know
health.
what?
Like, you're taking care of
That's what I
yourself.
tell my doctor. If I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself.
Yeah, but if we knew that we were gonna, if we knew
Yeah,
how long we were gonna live, or like what was gonna happen, we would know.
yeah.
We'd be.
I like that
doing
saying.
things
If I
differently.
knew I was going to live this long, I would have. That's something I got to start doing.
You know what? Honest to God, my witness, I never thought I was going to live this long.
Dang, what kind of
Because
life
of-
were you
because of
leading?
things-
Well, I
you
did.
doing?
You know what? I did a lot of drugs when I was younger. I was alcoholic.
Yeah.
I mean, functioning alcoholic.
Yeah.
I was always able to hold a job, pay the bills, go to the football games, coach my kids, run the football league and all this other stuff. But my liver paid a heavy price. Thankfully, it's still pretty good.
Would you say that was living, or this is living?
I think, this definitely
Yeah.
my life I live now is a lot better. I think I'm not perfect by any stretch of the means. We were kind of talking a little bit earlier, and I said that, I've been a Christian for over 40 years, 45, but not a good one. I always tell everybody that.
Yeah.
Has anybody been a good Christian for straight 45 years? Because if you think about it,
I know a lot
Christians, they still sin, though. Everybody sins.
Yeah, but I'm talking about people that tend to fall away and be gone.
Got it.
I mean, yeah, we all sin every day. Um,
Not Trina. I asked her to lie for me last night. She said absolutely not.
Wait, lie for you about what?
So
It was a scenario.
Where you been or something?
so I saw this thing on TikTok, and it says when I call my best friend, and I'm with my husband, and I asked her if we were together last night, she better lie. So I sent it to her and our friend Anjanette. And this chick over here says, I'm not lying for you. I'm not going to hell. And I was like, oh, so I could just get a divorce?
No, she asked me today. You asked me in the car. You kind of you made it a little bit more
Specific.
more specific. And she said, if I called you and told you I was and said, was I with you last night? Would you say that? What would you say? And I said, I'm not going to lie for you. I'm going to tell you need to tell him where you were because you obviously don't want to be with him. You want to be with the person you were with last night. Why am I going to lie? I'm helping you.
Yeah, you got all deep with it.
I was like, what? Who says that?
My husband and I talk about things like that all the time. There's so many things that people do to each other. Like if you're cheating on someone, why? Just go tell them that you don't want to be with them and go be with that other person. Why do all that? Like,
What if I just wanted to have some fun one night?
then do that without making that other person suffer.
I'm not, and I wouldn't. I just thought it was hilarious. I expected my friends to be like, I got you.
I will help. I do got you, but I'm not going to lie for you.
And then I said, well, what happens if our friend calls us and we got to bury her husband's body? She's like, oh, I'm going to pray for you guys way over here. She was like,
I don't have it in me to do those. I don't know what it is. I just don't have it in me. I can't even imagine myself trying to do that. I probably would fall in with them and you'd be burying me too.
right.
I'm not saying
snitching.
I'm not saying I'm
with the
perfect.
shovel and a trash bag, and she's over here going, Lord Jesus, help these women, give them the strength to bury him.
Right.
It's not too late. You could repent.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm scared to do all that. I'm scared.
She's a God-fearing. I thought I was a God-fearing woman, but then I have conversations with her, and I was like, apparently I'm not. I need to be more like that.
My worst thing is tattletale or snitch, however you want to call it. I would never tell anybody. I don't want to know. If you were to tell me, hey, Mitch, this happened, la 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 la.
He's old school. He was raised.
Because I don't want to. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
That's just
I'm not going to
me.
snitch. I'm going to help you get out of this issue that you're in. You don't want.
I can't. Yeah, I can't tell.
All right. Well, let's go to our topic.
Let's go to our topic. Before Alina comes
This
up
is a
with
whole
some more
nother
stuff to
topic.
get.
Yeah. Because our topic today, in all sincerity, is actually not funny. It's so I'm glad we got our laughs out, before. September is, I'm already going to cry. September is Suicide Prevention Month.
Mm-hmm.
And suicide, mental illness, it all goes together. People want to hear about it and they want information about it, but a lot of people, and I get it, it's a hard topic, don't want to talk about it. And I get that people, it's too emotional, it's too hard. And a lot of us, and I'm going to say us, Mexicans, we don't talk about this stuff enough. When you brought it to me, I was really shocked because you as a man wanting to come on here and share these things, we don't really get a lot of that, especially being a Mexican man wanting to come on and express it. We push our emotions aside. And then, of course, I told Trina she was joining us because she's going to have to help me. So I'm going to get through some tears on this one.
Well, for me, I think it's you were saying that Hispanic males, whatever, that they don't tend to not want to share their feelings or whatever. I think that's a very broad statement because I think men, me being one, I'll share my feelings, but I make light of it. That's the way that's the way I can share, right?
Yeah.
We talk to other men, and I will say, hey, I'm having this issue, right? But find a way to make it funny. That's how I do it, or make a joke about it, or kind of make sideways jokes about it, But as far as the topic, I have had, my sister, she took her life, and I have a nephew. I keep saying my nephew. He's my cousin. My first cousin's son took his life, And that was like, when my sister took her life, it was like, what the heck? You know, she was an alcoholic for forever,
Mm-hmm.
always struggling,
Mm-hmm.
blowing relationships, you know. And I think she couldn't even get a job anymore because she was a nurse.
Oh, wow.
So I think when you get like a 502 and all that, it goes on your record. It can affect you getting jobs you know, in the
Yeah.
medical field.
Yeah.
So she'd always have to have jobs at like little small doctors' offices and stuff. And so she was always struggling. So then when my mom got dementia, my mom went to live with her, and she was struggling to keep it straight from my mom. And this whole time, I didn't know she was like really in a bad place with
All
her
while she was
alcohol.
supposed to take care of your mom.
Yeah, she was taking care of my mom.
Mentally.
Oh.
Yeah, she was, well, mentally and physically drinking.
Oh, you didn't realize it was that bad?
I didn't know. I didn't
Oh,
know.
okay.
I would go visit, you know, hey, hi, Mom, how you doing? How's this? You know, blah, blah, blah. And it was like one day I went into the room for something. My mom wanted something, and my sister wasn't there. Oh, I think it's in Lydia's room. So I went in the room, in the closet. She had one of those walk-in closets full of beer cans, like about 3-4 feet high.
That were
Like she would just drink it and throw it in there. I'm not even exaggerating.
So she was hiding it from your mom too.
Yeah, well, my mom knows she was drunk, but you know, she was hiding the aluminum cans underneath the bed, everywhere. So I finally had to talk to her. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" Oh, I'm collecting them. I'm going to take them in
in your room.
In her. Yeah, exactly. So it just
Oh.
started getting really bad, and she was stressing my mom out. So I told her, I said, you know, you got to leave. It was actually my sister's house, but she wasn't even paying the rent because she wasn't working.
Oh.
So my mom was paying all the bills.
Oh.
My mom was getting very little Social Security. So, you know, I tried helping her, you know, in and out. She would come stay for a while, and she would get on a binge, and she'd be gone for 3, 4, 5 days till she either ran out of money or whatever. And her, what do you call those people from AA? That
Sponsor?
Sponsor, there you go. Her sponsor, I was kind of in communication with her and this and that. So she calls me and she says, you know, are you sitting down or whatever? I'm like, what? She goes, oh, you know, I just want to tell you that Lydia, she took her life. I went, what? I was like,
Where the sponsor called you?
the sponsor called me. I don't remember how she found out,
Mm.
but
So she didn't do it at home with your mom. Thank God.
No. And so I was just like a total shock, because she was like the biggest chicken. She was afraid of her own shadow.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
So I knew that she must have really been
In a place.
hurting. And I know she was, because we talked. We'd pray, you know, Mitch, I want to quit. I don't know how. I says, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
You can't, there's no like magic pill, fairy dust I can put on you. I mean, I could pray for you till I'm blue in the face. We can have the whole, you know, everybody in the church praying for you, unless you're willing to change.
Yeah.
You know,
So
unless
your
you're
younger
willing.
sister?
Was she younger than me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was, what, 6 years younger than me?
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why I was trying to do the math when you asked me how old she was when this happened. And it was I was messed up for a couple of days, because you know why? You have this survivor's guilt.
Well, I was going to ask you at that point, or at any point after, did you like? Do you feel like, oh, I could have done this, or I should have done this? Especially being one, her older brother, and then two, asking her to leave, and then
all of the above.
but
That was
no,
the hardest thing.
Okay.
It's like
You don't still have that, right?
sometimes it does.
Are you?
I think I told you, because we're like on the committee. Well, you're not on the, you quitter. On the grievance committee.
I joined 2 other committees.
So we're on
Grandma
the
was
grievance
her
committee,
committee.
Yeah.
and I told her one day, I said, Alina, I hope you don't feel uncomfortable, but you remind me so much of my sister.
Oh.
So if I stare at you sometimes,
You just said that.
I mean,
And
you are a
was-
pretty girl, but I see so much of your mannerism. Now that we've gotten to be more friends,
Yeah.
your mannerisms, the way you laugh, even the way you're sitting right now, you remind me of my sister.
Oh,
Wow.
and now that, what did you say after you watched some episode? Now you think I'm a crazy girl?
Well, yeah.
Even validated even more.
Yeah,
Even validated even more. And my sister, I think she did have some little bit of mental situation. Her father, we didn't have the same father. I don't think none of my siblings have the same father. They're all like, But
How many
anyways,
siblings do you have?
her father had mental issues from what my mom said. Because I think my sister asked her, "Why didn't you stay with my mom?" Because your dad was freaking crazy,
Yeah.
He was had like kind of
And
what
it
did
is
she
hereditary.
say? Like a personality. He would be like real good one day,
Oh,
and
yes.
the next day, so what do you call it?
That's bipolar.
There you go.
Yeah.
And my sister,
Do you know if anything happened to her as a child that was, traumatizing that sometimes you just don't deal with?
I don't know. I know a lot I know a lot of people that take their own lives or have mental issues.
Yeah.
They were molested as a child. Um, I it, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts from soldiers, and a lot of them have gone through a lot of trauma. I was listening to this one guy the other day, he's decorated, uh, whatever force he was in, and he was talking. He just started opening up about all the child abuse he went through, physically and sexually,
Yeah.
as a young boy, like 5, 6 years old.
I always say that people,
I'm like, what the heck?
people that get molested, I haven't had an episode on it. I just talk about the demon under my bed. That's why I was called the monster under my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I speak for myself. I also know a male that was molested. And I think it's harder for men to get through it and than for women because it's a natural thing for men and women to be together.
Mm-hmm.
The age thing is obviously not natural, right?
Yeah.
But it's not a natural thing. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset about this. When you have a young boy and a man comes and attacks him. Because that moment, that child, he's now questioning himself.
Mhm.
And as he gets older, he's questioning his sexuality, right? And it causes a lot of demons, a lot of issues that I think are harder than for women when a man comes and does something, it's wrong, or at that moment you don't realize it's wrong, but you get to a point where it's wrong, but it's a man and a woman kind of thing. So I think it's always harder when a boy gets molested by a man than when it is.
Well, definitely, and I think um, a lot of things that people that are men that grow up to be, I can't think of I know the word, but I can't say promiscuous,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
has a lot of sexual conquests,
Mhm.
And I heard this guy one time, he was became a Christian, and he was sharing about all of his things that he's gone through, and he was molested as a child by somebody in the church, like a pastor or somebody leadership, right? So when he got married, or he started dating and finally got married, he struggled and with his manhood.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to prove that he was macho, he always was chasing women. It
Mhm.
caused a lot of friction in
Yeah.
their marriage and
Yeah.
stuff. Luckily they stuck it out, but that there's a lot of things that we don't realize what causes people to do things.
Yeah.
And it usually it stems from their childhood.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What they say, um the psychiatrist say, "Oh, you have mom issues, you know, you
Daddy issues, mommy
or
issues.
daddy issues or whatever."
We talk
And
about that
we
a
laughed
lot.
about. We used to laugh about it, but it's
It's
true.
true.
You
Yeah.
know,
And
not having a father. My dad was never around. Knew him, but I never in my life per se. My mom had a lot of long-term relationships through my younger years, teenage years, who I learned a lot from. They were good role models, but
well, that's good.
they were never. I would never say my dad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but I used to like sports, you know. But my mom always worked. She always was hustling. She always had a full-time job. She was always selling like Avon or Stanley products or Fuller Brush or whatever.
like my grandma.
Always hustling, right? So, and I like to play sports. And the worst thing as a young man is when you're up to bat
And no one's cheering.
and nobody's cheering for you. You sitting there and your buddy got on base and yeah, go Freddie or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I get on base, which is very rare. I wasn't a good baseball, but you know, or I'd make a good catch
yeah.
and nothing.
It's funny you say that.
And it makes you like as a young kid
Yeah.
not want to participate anymore.
Yeah.
Because whether we admit it or not, we all want affirmation.
See, thank you for saying
You need
that.
encouragement.
Because I was going to just say that because you hear from a lot of guys like, oh, who cares if your dad's not there? Suck it up. Who cares if your mom's not there? I'm saying when the kid has nobody. If you have one parent, that's better than nothing, right? But a lot of people will act like, oh, well, you didn't. No, at the end of the day, every kid wants that.
Yeah.
Whether you're a boy, you don't have to be all tough. Like you said, nobody was there for you, right?
Mhm.
If your mom was there, unfortunately, she had to work.
Yeah.
But if your mom was there, that's something.
Yeah.
If your dad was there, that's something. When no one's there, you feel that emptiness.
Yeah. So I mean that led to me just being on the streets instead of being on the football field or baseball field or whatever, you know. So you start hanging around the wrong crowd, the guys that are not interested in sports and they're just interested in getting high and doing stupid stuff. So it does have a lot of effect.
What do you think the difference between your sister and you were, though? Like you said, she kind of went through the same thing you went through because you guys were raised in the same household.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it was genetically mental illness?
But how many siblings do you have?
Well, I mean, take off my shoes. I gotta have to use my
Were
toes.
you
Wait,
already-
from your mom. From your mom.
Yeah,
my
from your mom.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 3 older siblings.
Okay.
They're all gone.
Oh.
Okay.
They're from my mom's first marriage,
Okay.
and then my mom has another daughter from a fling in Indiana when they lived in Indiana.
Okay.
She was separated from her first husband, and then who's next? Is it me? Yeah. Then I'm next,
Okay.
right? I was an accident in Vegas, which my mom told me.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, is your mom still with us?
No,
No.
she passed
Oh,
away.
okay,
She
okay.
died like 4 or 5 years ago or more.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half before my sister did.
Okay.
No, after. Excuse me.
After.
I got it backwards.
Okay.
And so yeah, I said, hey, how come you and my dad ever got married? He says, you were in an accident in Vegas. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't want to be married to your dad. I said, oh, thanks a lot.
So you're 5. Your sister's 6?
And my sister's 6. Then I have other siblings from my dad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anyways,
But from your mom, there's 6 of you.
there's 6.
And she's the baby.
Yeah, she was the baby. Yeah.
So she's been gone how long?
You know what? I have her little memorial things
Yeah.
they give out. And I go, I got to look at the date because I couldn't remember the date. But I want to say it's like 5-6 years ago. It might be longer than that now.
And
Right.
how were your other siblings when it happened?
Oh, my other siblings? Well, my oldest,
You're the only boy.
from my mom.
From your
No.
mom, yeah.
I'm of 3. There was 3 boys and 3 girls, right? No.
Wait, the first 3.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
3 girls and 3 boys.
Oh, okay.
So the first 3 is boy, girl. No, boy, girl, boy. Yeah. It's like boy, girl, boy.
Oh, okay. So then you and then her, she's the baby.
My oldest brother passed away. He had muscular dystrophy.
Do you think it affected you more because you were present in your sister's life more than everybody else?
To tell you the truth, me and my sister had been, how do you call it,
Estranged?
estranged for long, just because of her drinking.
Oh, okay.
She would come to my house and tell you exactly what she thought about you, and
Oh.
you were always mom's favorite. And,
Okay.
and it was
So it's coming out. She was like, obviously, even though she was the baby, she had some kind of inner like feelings of being not the favorite, and
right.
she didn't have kids or a spouse.
Oh no, she had kids.
Oh, okay. So she had
two,
kids and
a boy and a girl.
but she wasn't married. Like she didn't
At the
have a-
time, no.
How old were they when she passed?
The kids?
Yeah.
Oh, they were already grown.
Oh, okay.
30s, I guess.
Mm,
It still had to
Or
affect them, though.
25, I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, we were estranged for a long time. And then when my mom started to need care, that's when we started kind of reconnecting a little
Okay.
bit. But because I already knew to keep my distance,
Yeah.
How you doing today, sis? Okay, all right. You guys need anything, blah, blah, blah. No, we're good, okay. So I just kind of kept it like that. Our connection was just my taking care of my mom, right? And then as I started to go over to her house more, I started to see like, oh man, things ain't good. She's really, and I may come in, she'd be all passed out on the sofa, whatever. So
Now that you look back, was there anything different that you could have done that somebody who's watching this, who's in the same situation that you're in? Because sometimes it's like no matter what you do, there's nothing you can do. They have to be willing to want to get clean and sober, and we don't know the demons in their head and the suicidal thoughts, right?
yeah.
So you personally looking back at your sister, do you think if you would have done something differently, it might have changed the outcome?
I thought about it for the first, few weeks or more, the first few days.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man, maybe if I would have let her just, if she was going to drink, at least she would be at home with my mom, maybe stay there, Because my mom, she was just like getting a nervous wreck. I would just, I could just see it in her, She was like, I go, oh, how's it going? She goes, oh, your sister came here and she was, drinking again or whatever. So I just couldn't have her in that environment, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But as far as if there's something I could have done, she was doing it on her own.
Yeah.
She was making an effort to go to the AA meetings. She always fit. She could have been out drinking all night and she'll get up in the morning and go for a run. And she would go for 2-3 miles runs.
So
She was a very beautiful woman. She was very fit,
functioning,
very
alcoholic,
functioning, yeah.
But sometimes that running, it's burning off all the thoughts that are going on in your head.
Mhm.
You're trying to tire them out, and that's why she was staying in shape and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because all those thoughts that run through your head constantly, if you just sit there and stay idle, they get worse and worse and worse. So if you're telling me that she's running, that's the first thing I'm thinking. If she was running those demons out of her head,
Yeah. No,
trying to tire herself out.
probably. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it like that. But I do know that, even when she was drinking, she would be good for a week and then she'd go on a binge.
Mm.
But when she was off, not drinking, right to her AA class, her AA meetings. And
So she was trying.
she was struggling.
Yeah.
So that's why I think with her, it was more mental
Yeah.
than physical.
Yeah.
A lot of thoughts.
The enemy really
Yeah.
got to her.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's the biggest thing what people miss is that a lot of people believe in the devil and they believe in God.
Mhm.
But they don't give enough credit to the devil and they don't give enough credit to God.
Mm. Yeah.
Because I think I'm going to share. I've never shared this with anybody per se. A few people have. But I told you that I had a lot of problems drinking and drugs and all that. And So one day I was out drinking. I was hanging out with some people, and remember, Point Furman, right? You go down.
Mhm.
Right? This is how long ago it was. Because now I think they close it at night, but before it was open 24 hours.
That parking.
Royal Palm?
Where you drive down
Royal
down
Oh,
through the
Royal
rocks?
Palms.
Or
Yeah.
Royal Palms.
Yeah.
And so I had been out drinking, doing my thing all night. So I had a can of beer left, right? I said, man, I don't be driving around with this can of beer. I'm drunk, so I might as well drink it.
Yeah.
So I go, I'm going to go down there because I was hanging out in Pedro with some people. So I went down the hill and I backed in against the water so I could see if a cop coming down, right? I said, I'm going to finish this beer, turn the radio on, and smoke a cigarette. And I never in my life had I ever thought of taking my life. And at that time, I would always have a pistol. Many people knew that. I hid it really good from certain people. And I just got this overwhelming thought to take my life.
Oh wow.
My drinking was causing a lot of problems at home,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? I said, well, I'd be better off, your kids would be better off. It's just like this thoughts in my head,
Mhm.
right? I never thought taking my life.
Yeah.
I was having fun,
Yeah.
but I had these thoughts. It was so strong, like just I don't know how to explain the thoughts. I don't know if you've ever said, "Wow, you've heard a voice," and you know
Yeah.
it's God speaking to you.
Yeah.
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 It's hard to explain to somebody that's never experienced it. It's hard to explain. Well, this on the opposite side, I've never, and I've heard, you could say the devil made me do it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can honestly say that I believe that was a devil or demon or whatever. I said, you know what? Yeah, I think I should. I'm gonna finish this beer, finish a cigarette, and I'm gonna do it, right?
Mhm.
So I get the cigarette and I flick it out the window like this, right? Out the car window. Honest to God, this little boy on a bicycle
At night?
at night, like 2:00 in the morning. He was like maybe like my grandson's age, maybe 9, 10. Pulls alongside, like instantly. I went like this, and all of a sudden I just felt a hand on my arm like this. Hey, mister, Jesus loves you.
That wasn't a little boy on the bike. That was Jesus on the bike.
He goes, hey, mister, Jesus loves you. And he takes off on the bike towards the water. And I'm like, what the heck? I opened
You're
the
like,
door.
I'm drunk.
Yeah, I opened the door, and I wasn't on no drugs at that time.
At
I
that
wasn't.
time.
I know. Well, I wasn't on. I wasn't on anything at the moment.
Yeah.
How's that? I opened the door, and the kid's gone.
That was Jesus.
The water was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
because you backed up with the.
I was
facing
backed up to the. I
the
was
water.
backed up right
Yep.
up to the water.
Who do you believe that was?
An angel.
Mm-hmm.
That saved your life.
And it distracted you so much that those thoughts were now gone, right?
Well, yeah. I was like,
He's all, there was a kid at 2 a.m.
so, I can't explain why me.
Well, that's why people gravitate to you now. We were talking about it earlier. Like people are able to, come to you and open up to you because you had a purpose. So that's your purpose. to be here
probably.
for
Yeah,
other
I'm
people.
assuming that's what it is. I believe it is. I don't like to, you say pat yourself on the back or toot your own horn or whatever.
Okay, well, we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
But you still have the survivor's guilt,
hmm
right? Like, why me and not my sister? Why me and not my little cousin?
And how old was your little cousin when he?
I think he was like, I want to say he was in high school still, so 17, 18. He tried
And they're-
it. He tried it. He had, and he did it the right way. He cut his veins this way. He could take the first time he tried to commit him suicide, and somebody found him and they were able to save him or whatever. Blah blah blah.
They're so young and their minds are so fresh
Yeah.
still.
Well, like I said, they found out that he was involved in that whale game or whatever, and they found videos of him in the backseat of a car, like jumping out of the car when the car's going like 40, 50 miles down the road. things like that. I didn't see them personally, but just what my cousin and her kids were telling me. And my cousin even sent him with me one time because I do like mission work on the reservation in Arizona,
Mhm.
take food, clothes, and stuff. And I go do Bible studies at the jail. They have a jail there on the reservation. So she says, "Well, why don't you talk?" Because that's after the first attempt, right? Why don't you take him and talk to him, right? I said, "Okay." Well, she sends the daughter too, his sister. How am I going to talk to him in
With
front
his
of
front
her?
of the-
sister,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think a lot of times we want to overhelp.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that too.
Because you're so fearful of
Yes.
what could happen.
So we overhelp, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a fine line between helping somebody get help
Yeah.
and forcing them to
Yep.
get help.
Yeah.
Or well, you give them I got my little notes, but you give them a whole sheet of paper,
Yeah, yeah.
and no, sometimes people just need a hug.
Yeah.
A hug. I love you. I don't know what you're going through.
Mhm.
I don't. I don't know how to help you,
Yeah.
but I know someone who can help you get over this.
Yeah.
Try prayer. Try going and getting some counseling. You
Mhm.
see a therapist.
Mhm.
And but not all at once.
Yeah. It's overwhelming.
Keep them busy. And I think a lot of times that people will start to smother the person.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you going? Who are you going with?
Yeah.
I'll take you. They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Yeah.
Whether you're there or not. You just have to put your trust and have faith in the man upstairs, and that your love was enough
Mhm.
to keep them here.
Yeah.
But sometimes the mental health issues or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I struggled with that too, because I was like, man, maybe I should have, did more to try to, because we had a little bit of conversations, me and my little cousin, but I don't think I had enough time to like really get home with him, and I don't think he had as much as a foundation of faith as my sister did.
Yeah.
Because my sister, she was a real strong Catholic.
Yeah.
And she always had her rosaries, and she always, always in church, she's not always, but she, made an effort to go to a mass and all that. And so, and then,
She must have been struggling if she was trying to stay clean, if she was going to
Yeah.
church. That is I would say she wasn't an alcoholic as much as she was. It was her mental illness that was the biggest problem.
Mhm.
And the alcohol probably helped forget a lot of the stuff that was going on in her head again.
well, I found some pills, and they ended up they were like for, what do you call those?
Anxiety?
like anxiety, not like,
Depression.
I guess like depression or whatever. That's not what, for like more for, yeah, depression, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot the name of the medication, but I looked it up, and that's what it was for, you know,
So she was battling something that you obviously didn't know what it was. She wasn't telling anybody,
yeah.
no matter what it was. Mental illness, like I told you, my dad's schizophrenic,
Mhm.
my uncle's schizophrenic. If you were to analyze their lives before the moment they kind of that light switch, turned,
Mhm.
I don't think there were signs. There, like my dad, everything that's been told to me about him is hardworking, good man, nice man, sweet man. But again, you don't know what's going on in their heads in the moment and what finally triggered it, and they just snapped. And then with my dad particularly, when that light switch went, he snapped. He never came back. So it was just like, bam, a whole new man, a whole new version of him that my grandparents now had to see and deal with. But I think that if you were to ask my grandparents, they're not only here, but even his siblings, they saw no signs of it. But you don't know what someone's going through because people sometimes, especially my dad, my grandpa, they were hardcore Mexican men from Mexico. You don't talk about emotions, you don't talk about feelings,
Mhm.
you just suck it up. And then when he snapped, that was it. So you don't know anything that your sister could have been dealing with, that the alcohol was actually helping her, not letting her remember or getting past it.
Yeah, that's it's funny, but it's not funny. I remember for the longest time, my mom's first husband, who was always in the picture. Don't explain. Don't let me. I don't know how to explain it, but he was always in our picture. As he always lived
I
in
kind
the.
of wish
He
your mom
always
could come on
I
here.
know.
he always lived in the back house,
He was
or
because
the
he was
spare
the one.
room.
He
Yeah.
was the one.
That's like my
She
sister's
always
dad.
thought that he was her dad.
Your sister did.
Yes, and he
Oh.
wasn't. So when she
Do
got,
we know that? Do we have DNA to prove that?
no, no. So when she got pregnant, and I think she wanted to go get welfare or something or whatever. So her name was always Lydia Ortegon, right? That was my mom's first husband's name. Back then, it's different. You be able to go to school and put
Right,
anybody's
whatever
Yeah.
you want.
name. So she finds out that that's her not a real dad,
Oh.
and I think that messed her up.
Yes.
Caused a little bit of like,
Who am
why?
I?
I don't why. I remember it. She was like, for years I thought he was my dad. Oh my God.
That's my mom's oldest brother, my uncle that passed away.
Mhm.
Thought my grandpa was his dad, and then they went to Little League World Series. And they had to get their birth certificates, and realized my grandpa wasn't his dad, and it caused all of that.
Yeah.
My uncle ended up passing away, and he was an alcoholic, and I don't know if he ever dabbled in drugs. I don't know that, but I know he was an alcoholic. Went through hell after that. But because of that same exact reason.
So that was something that could have triggered her into those
Yeah.
mental, like,
Yeah. I don't know. But I think,
When something traumatic happens, you could be your mind can be dormant, right? You
Mhm.
could have like young men that are schizophrenic, they're dormant. That's why they say until they're 25 and their brain finally like locks together. But if something happens before that, it awakens it. It's you snap. So she might have had mental illness, but it was just kind of dormant, and then something like that traumatic happened to her, and it just opened up the floodgates.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I think the thing that it's like we were going to do another topic, and I don't remember what it was, but when we talked again, I said, you know what, you want to do a topic about suicide, and the reason why was a good friend of mine who was a veteran and had confided in me. I know he was struggling, having a lot of the guys that went to Iraq and Afghanistan and all that, they've come back with a lot of unseen scars, mentally, physically, and so he was going through a lot of things, but I never thought anything he would want to take his life, and so we were always talking. Like I said, I don't know why I guess it's got to be God, because I don't feel like I have answers, but he would always open up to me. Always like, hey, what's going on? Hey, man, thanks for your advice or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So one night I ran into him and I said, hey, man, how's it going? He said, oh, I'm good, man. I'm doing better today. So something like that. And he goes, hey, Mitch, I want to tell you something. Don't tell nobody. So that's why I'm not going to, I think I told you earlier, I don't want, I'm not going to give no specifics or whatever, but it's just a good family member, that I don't, So anyways, he says, I tried to take my life the other day. And this is a guy that's familiar with firearms, extremely familiar. He says, I put the gun to my head, and I pulled the trigger, and it didn't go off. I pulled it back, and there was a round in there because it popped out. And I said, what the hell? Why'd you do that? Just tired. you know. And he definitely has survivor skill. 'Cause a lot of his friends were killed in, um, like he was supposed to be on this particular vehicle, and it got blown up by a IED.
Hmm.
And he said, I should have been with them guys. Another time, somebody else, they were having a shootout or whatever, and he was
God
one of the
needs
few
him
guys
here.
that survived. I says, haven't you got it yet? You're here for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably why also that little boy was on the bike and reached over to you, because you had mentioned you don't know why people tend to, pour, you know what, people probably look at you and think like you give them like a safe space, or you're going to,
Mhm.
You have a
you
comforting
know,
spirit.
yeah, that's why they're able to open up to you. And that's your purpose, to
Yeah, well,
encourage and help people.
I know a lot of people are going to listen though and think, well, and please don't take this the wrong way, Mitch. People are going to be like, well, then if Mitch was spared or your friend was spared,
I know what you're going.
why wasn't his sister spared? And I also look at it when I was younger, and I'm talking like 18 and under, because
Mm-hmm.
people had committed suicide. We already knew. When you're young and naive and you're unknowledgeable, you think, oh, they gave up. They're sissies, right?
They're
Now,
weak.
yes. Now at 51, I realize that life is hard,
Mm-hmm.
and people go through a lot of things. They don't know how to open up. And some people who do know how to open up, they don't have anybody to open up to, right?
Mhm.
There's all these different things, and they're in that moment of they have nobody. They don't feel they can go to anybody. They're so lost, and the devil is your best friend. And the
Mhm.
devil, like you said, Mitch, go ahead and do it. And it becomes so overwhelming. And it doesn't mean that God doesn't love that person. I feel like Jesus is right there with them. Maybe it's like, just come home. Like, you're no longer like, let the pain go. Let it go. Just release. I don't think that anywhere in the Bible, and I could be mistaken because I've asked somebody this, if it says that if you commit suicide that you're going to hell, because people like to say that. But I've actually asked quite a few people, and no one's been able to actually share that with me, that where it says that.
Mhm.
But I know that our kids have had moments of depression.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids have had moments of going down that road, right? And as a mother, for me personally, I found it was such an honor that my child was able to look at me and felt secure enough and safe enough to express that, because I never would have been able to do that. And it's a constant thing that I think that it's like you said, not to smother, but it's a constant checkup, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Solomon. The Bible does not explicitly state that suicide automatically condemns a person to hell. While suicide is widely viewed as a sin because it is an act of murder against oneself, many theologians emphasize that eternal salvation is determined by a person's faith in Jesus Christ, not by a single final act. Thank you. I know that we have to communicate. I've learned to communicate so well. My communication skills sucked. What are you crying for? Suck it up. I was that. And I've said that a million times.
I'm that way too.
Now it's like, why are you crying? What's wrong? What are we doing? But not for everything. My granddaughter the other night came in and we were going to go to Ross, and she didn't want to go to Ross. And I said, what's wrong? She goes, oh, my head hurts. I don't want to go. You're lying. You want to stay on your iPad. You're not getting on your iPad. Let's go. And she looked at me and was like, okay, I feel better. Like she knew, so for that, I'm still hardcore on, right? But there's other moments where you have to communicate. You have to talk. I do not think a person's weak. I feel like they fought till the very end. They fought till they felt they can fight no longer. And that actually breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Because we don't want people to ever feel like that.
Well, yeah, because I feel like at that moment they feel alone.
Yes.
Well, clearly your sister, you know what I mean? Like clearly she had you, your mom, like there were people, but it's like a moment of desperation. And like, I know that when one of my daughters was going through that dark part of
the
life,
dark era.
I feel like, I was sharing with him earlier, like it was a moment of where I had to like sit and be with God and know that, I needed him to have his hand over her. She belonged to him anyways.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything that I could do other than like be there for her and not smother her. Did I know that at that time? No, but it was something that I was praying about. Like, okay, what do I do now? Because right away, the first thing is put her in therapy. That's what they tell you, right? And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. But, as an adult, now going to therapy and being able to, and you know who you go to, you know who's in control.
And you have to find the right therapist. Just
Yeah.
going to therapy isn't going to be the problem.
Yeah.
Because you could go to therapy and have a therapist that's done
And be put on
absolutely nothing for you.
medication and then
Yeah.
be worse. But yeah, no, it's scary. But being able to listen and
That was my biggest problem.
yeah, because now it's like, okay, do you want me to listen and respond or you just want me to listen?
Yeah.
So
And I think for me, the parent that I was, I needed to just listen. He didn't need a response. He just needed to
open up.
He needed to let all his emotions out that I probably contained inside. His dad was not here, right? All of that was, and once I learned that, I am very big on checking in with friends, family. Like I've learned so much patience. I've learned to communicate, and people could say like, I'll send a text message to the kids in a group text. I love you. Have a good day. And they'll all respond with their little smart ass comments like, what's wrong with you? Oh my God. Like, and I don't care. Right.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's my nephews and my kids, they might be like, you know what? I needed that at the moment. With my friends, I do the same thing.
I started that like about 2 years ago. I just was thinking about my cousin. I have a cousin. She has is going through cancer. I don't know how she's doing now. I haven't talked to her in a while. But I just sent her a text. Hi, cuz, how you doing? Hope everything's okay with you. Yeah, I'm okay. Blah blah blah. Just want to tell you I love you. I'm here for you. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started to do that. Make a concerted effort every day.
Yeah.
Go through my contacts. Okay, I'm going to send a text to whoever,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes it's more than one person. Hey, how you doing? I'm just checking in. I tell you I love you, blah, blah, blah. If a Bible verse sticks in my head, I might send them a Bible verse. More times than not.
They
Thanks,
needed
Mitch.
it.
I really needed that today. Sometimes they'll tell me what they're going through, or sometimes they'll just say, you don't know how much I needed that today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a simple, hey, how are you doing? It's not like, I know you're going through something. Tell me what it is.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, I'm here for you. If you want to talk, if you don't want to talk, you want prayer, let me know.
Yeah.
You know where I live. You know my number. And a lot of times people will call me and say, hey, man, I'm going through this or going through that or whatever. And so I think we need to be more open to the voice.
Mm-hmm.
I always say everybody has the little devil guy on this side and then the little angel guy on this side. And we tend to listen to this guy more than this guy. And because if it was up to me, I want to do stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to get in trouble, but I know that God is watching,
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to be mindful of that. And as I growing in my older years, I'm getting more seasoned, and I want to be more Christ-like.
Mm-hmm.
I have to watch my behavior more, things I say more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And because words are a very powerful thing. And I think we, as Hispanics, I've heard you talk about it, and that a lot of times people that have a deformity or whatever. I got a comedian friend that makes jokes about that, right? He goes, yeah, I got a friend, one eye was up like that, and we used to call him busque aviones. In other words, looking for planes, or
we take their insecurity
and make light of it.
We make fun of it.
Yes.
But I think nowadays, don't make fun of him.
Everyone's sensitive.
Everybody's sensitive now.
Yeah.
you can't hurt nobody's feelings,
Sometimes our feelings need to get hurt so we toughen up. I was told I was an ugly little girl with a big nose in junior high, and I went home crying, and my grandpa said, "You are not ugly, but you do got a big nose. Get over it." And I was like, "What?"
He's like, I'm going to prepare you for this mean world out there.
Yeah.
So,
And
we need that.
I'm like that with my kids
Yeah.
and my grandkids now too. My little grandson, he poor thing, he had that thing where his head was a little bit.
Oh, and he had to wear the little
little
helmet.
helmet.
Those are cute.
my
And I
grandson
call
had to
him-
wear that too.
I said, "Get over here, big head." My daughter goes, "Don't tell him that." I go, "Shut up, come over here."
Yeah.
And,
We need it.
You need to, I tell my kid, this is what I really, really, really believe, is that you need to teach your kids to laugh at themselves. Because I say, the way you take away a bully's strength
Mhm.
is by not getting hurt by it.
Yes.
So if the bully's telling you, "Hey, you're just stupid,
You have a
you're
big
big
head."
head, yeah, so what?
Yeah.
You know,
my grandpa calls,
that's a good one.
Yeah, my grandpa calls me big head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my grandpa calls me big head. And now, where's the fun in that? When's the
Yeah.
fun of making fun of somebody when you see you're not really hurting them?
Yeah.
It may be still hurting inside, but
Yeah.
it takes the sting away from the bully.
Yeah.
And I said, if that doesn't work,
Punch him in the face.
punch him in the mouth.
My uncle used to call us bullet head and blockhead. We thought those were terms of endearment. Like,
Yeah, because that's coming from your family.
yeah,
You know they
but
love you.
but if when we left the door and left the house, when people called us stuff, it was like, we get it at home. So
Yeah.
before we end, I want to talk about something really quickly because you mentioned it earlier, and people do not. And I'm sure we'll get some heat because a lot of people, I told you at the beginning of this, before we start recording, people don't like to put suicide and God together.
Mhm.
Well, God has nothing to do with it. God wasn't around when that person was, thinking about it. But
Mhm.
you said we don't give the devil enough credit.
Mhm.
And there's a meme that I saw on TikTok, and I see it a lot. And it's a guy that walks out and he goes, "I got kicked out of church because I said F the devil. I thought we hated that mother effer," right?
Yeah. I seen that one
Yeah.
before. That was
And
a
we
good one.
and we do, right? But the devil is real. The devil is alive. It comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms. And people don't want to acknowledge that. People don't want to think about that. They don't want, and not only that, God can be in every place at every time. The devil cannot. So the devil has people that work for him, which we call bad spirits, right?
Demons or whatever.
Demons, yeah. And those people, not those people, those beings are real.
Mhm.
Like, and if you don't have a strong foundation and the devil comes in and stays in, people don't connect that. They don't realize that we don't give him enough credit. We don't realize that he's everywhere and he tries to get in because he's fighting a spiritual battle that we can't even see. And so when you said that earlier, I'm hoping we're on the same level of what you said compared to what I just said right now.
Mhm. No, for sure. I think it's it's a hard thing to put. It's like what I shared earlier, that why me
Mhm.
and not somebody else, right?
Mhm.
Well, are you any better than that person? No. You know what I used to say? Go to church, right? I remember going to church, and I was brought up. I started in a church, real strong Pentecostal church, where they're doing flips and hanging from the chandeliers and all that. Right? You know what kind of church I'm
Where'd
talking
that
about?
church at? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
And I would have these people come up, and they would start sharing their testimony. Yeah, I was a drug addict for 25 years, and I couldn't live without sticking a needle in my arm or whatever their sin was. And I've been saved and set free for 25 years, right? Not me. I could never. And everybody raising their hands, praising the Lord. I said, not me. I struggle. I struggle every day. I struggle every week. And I used to struggle with that because I would hear these people sharing these things,
Mhm.
right? And I could never overcome, it seemed like, right?
Yeah.
But I was listening to the wrong voice. And like when I was sharing earlier, I go to the reservation,
Mhm.
right? I don't know what the statistics is now, but a few years ago, one native on the reservation takes her life a month.
They're the highest rated suicide rate numbers.
That's, just blanket statistic because there's more and there's
Yeah.
less, but one a month. You know why? Because it's hopelessness. There's no jobs there.
Mm-hmm.
All there is drugs. And you know, when you get a record, it's hard to get a job.
Yeah.
So when I go to this jail and I go and I kind of share my testimony and stuff, and I talk to them and I said, you know, there's hope.
Yeah.
There's hope. I says, even though it doesn't look like it, there's hope.
Yeah.
Did you wake up this morning?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a good start, you know? And because if you look at what's going on, it doesn't seem like there's hope, but there is hope.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just a matter of us, me, you,
Yeah.
accepting that hope and going on just for the day.
Yeah.
Because we want to see 10 years down the road. No, we just need to see the day.
Mm-hmm.
See
Just-
today, get through today.
Yeah.
My grandpa always said, if you can survive the nights, which are the hardest,
Mm-hmm.
there's a brighter future. There's a brighter day tomorrow. So for me, I've always remembered that we're going to go to bed and it's going to be hard at night. But if you can get through that night and wake up, that sun's coming out again. You're going to be okay. One way or another, you'll figure it out.
What's the scripture? It says, the struggle for at night, but joy cometh in the
In the
morning.
morning. Yeah.
You know, that's what your grandpa was saying, you know.
I got to go find that scripture now. It's probably what he was saying. He just dummied it down for me.
But
Dummied it down.
I don't know how much more time we have.
We don't
But-
have too much.
Okay, the main thing I really think that we need to share is that 988. I couldn't think of the number. It's only 3 numbers. 988. If you feel like taking your life, you have suicidal thoughts, somebody, that number has all information. They have it's a 24-hour hotline. I called it when my friend told me this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was like, gosh, what do I do?
Yeah.
I want to get help. I want to get this person help.
Yeah.
And I called and they gave me a lot of resources, a lot of,
Oh,
things
wow,
that
that's
we didn't really-
awesome.
988.
988.
It's a national suicide hotline. And then there's a direct, and if you tell them that you're a veteran, you get like moved right to the top of the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
of the help.
Yeah.
You know, they get a counselor on the phone. Sadly, because of the system that what it is, the reason why a lot of veterans don't get help is because if you call them and you tell them that you have suicidal thoughts or that you tried it already, well, do you have any guns in the house? As soon as you tell them yes, they're going to be at your house. Do you have kids at your house? So a lot of them don't want
They're
to get
scared.
it. They're scared. They're afraid to have them come into their house
Because now you've been
Opened
you're
it
putting
up.
your family in.
Yeah.
in possible
jeopardy,
jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
And if you have the means to do it,
Yeah.
they consider that more dangerous than going and taking your firearms away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the main reasons why a lot of veterans
Won't
refuse to help, because they know
Yeah.
that's going to happen to them. I don't know how do you do it?
How do you
balance that?
navigate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So
No, I don't have guns, and no, there's no kids here.
excuse me. I didn't.
I'm not even
Bless you.
home. I'm in another
Yeah,
city.
Yes. So I like to say that I told my friend to get help,
Mm-hmm.
but I spoken to him.
Yeah.
And he says, Mitch, I'm okay. So I just have to believe that because he experienced what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I said, see, brother, what I've been telling you.
But you
God is-
continue to check on him, right?
Oh, yeah.
So then you stay connected.
Yeah. He's, another state. But I still keep,
But you
Contact.
were the light, and you were the hope, and that's why that little boy on the bike was over there.
yeah. Right? Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I really believe that God intervened in that person's life as
Yeah.
as I feel he did in my life
Oh, for sure.
whenever however many years ago. I don't even remember how many years ago it was now.
I think the biggest thing we have to do is communicate with friends, family, check in on them.
Mm-hmm.
If you, again, that's why I asked you earlier if you saw signs, if you, we don't know, right? I think as parents, we might see signs in our kids, but our friends and our siblings, you could miss something easily,
Yeah.
And before we head out, that's the biggest thing I want to say is check on everybody. If you think I would rather my friend call me and say, "Hey, are you good?" Because the other day you weren't, and just a little worried about you. I'd rather them that than say, "Oh no, I think she was okay, but I'm not sure."
Yeah.
Because we all need somebody, whether it's your siblings, your parents. I get even my kids have been there for me when I've needed them. We get that reassurance too. And I'm usually a firm believer that we're supposed to be parents. Our kids aren't supposed to be there for us, but that's not true.
But they
you're,
learn that from
yeah,
you.
if you're raising a good child and they come back and say, "Hey mom, are you good?" Cause
Yeah.
Then
I think the biggest thing in regards to that is today it seems like parents want to be friends with their kids.
oh, that's a whole other episode. Cause
I know,
that is
but
so
I mean-
true. 100%.
You have to be the parent. You have to be the adult in there. I remember. I don't know if it's changing the subject real quick. I remember when people started calling each other fool. Hey fool.
Yeah,
Hey fool.
Oh yeah.
My son said, "Hey fool, what's going on?"
Did you hit him?
And I went, "What?" I said, "Listen, son, I'm your dad. I'm not your fool.
I'm not
Yeah.
your friend down the street.
I'm not your friend. We're friendly. Let's go play the ball.
Yeah.
Let's go do friend things."
This fool's gonna knock you out.
Yeah. I said, "I'm not your fool and I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
I'm your dad.
Yeah.
We could do friendly things."
Yeah. Well, that's good that you put him on check because
Oh, yeah.
if you would have allowed it, it would have
No.
just continued.
Yeah.
But I think that's why it's important to stay rooted so we know
It
how to
is.
navigate when
It
things
is.
come up like that.
But
Um,
remember, 988.
988. We've all experienced somebody who's thought about it, attempted it, or has done it, and it's affected people. And the sad thing is, we're still, even though it's 2025, we're not in a year where, especially men's mental health. We've talked about that a lot on this podcast. Is we're still not at a place where it's fully open and fully aware. Men more so than women don't express themselves. Either they don't know how, they're too embarrassed, they have egos. But I think when it comes to mental illness and suicidal thoughts, there should be none of that. It should just be like, "Hey, I need help. Hey, I need something."
mhm.
Today it's not frowned upon. It's more like, what can we do to make sure it doesn't get to that point? How can we help you? My brother, and I will say this, and I feel like through his life, my older brother has had like depression through his life, things that have traumatized him and stuff, And one of my aunts asked, like, "Hey, how's your brother? Is he still crazy?" And I was so upset.
That's a Mexican thing right there.
Yeah, but she sent it as an insult, and I was so
As an
mad.
insult.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I snapped back at her because that's not something to joke about.
Yeah.
That's if she would have said like, "Hey, how's your brother? Is he still like?" And we were laughing and joking. No, she said it to like,
A jab.
Jab.
it's
a jab.
and
Okay.
I lost it because I've always worried about that particular brother. I've always worried something would happen to him in that sense that he
Mhm.
would. Thank God he hasn't. Thank God he's doing great. All that stuff, and his faith. He's always been rooted, so that helped. But I think that it's not funny. It's not a joke. I think that we need to speak about it. I hope that people watch this. And what did you say, Mitch? If one person sees this and it helps them, that was what you wanted to come on here and
Yeah.
accomplish. 988.
988.
988.
National Suicide.
Oh, now when
Hotline.
someone asks you for your number, just say 988. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Took me a second.
Pass it on. 988. That's
Yeah.
what we're gonna say.
Yeah.
Thank you, Solomon, so very much, and happy birthday. Woohoo.
Thank you.
happy
Thank you.
Oh, Tony's birthday's today. Today's his, tomorrow's yours. When this comes out on Thursday, both your birthdays will have passed. But happy birthday, guys. Tony, we love you. We appreciate you. You've helped me so much with my podcast. Wouldn't be here without you. So happy birthday to the two of you. Solomon, you too. Thank you so much, Mitch, for coming on. So brave
Okay,
of
well, I
you.
hope.
You definitely got to come back. Definitely have to come back.
Yeah, I don't mind coming back and
Yeah.
Mr. Tom Selleck himself with his
The Hispanic Tom Selleck.
my porn star mustache.
He said it, not us.
Yeah, I know.
We all
That's what
have.
somebody told me at work one time. He goes, "Man, you need to trim that porn star mustache." I said,
Wow.
"Well, then they're going to kick me out of the industry if I do that."
We have TikTok, Instagram. Please go on YouTube, like, follow, and share. And until next time, bye.